The closeness of business and politics has long plagued Mongolia's international reputation. Skepticism has kept foreign investors at bay, and creating a cleaner political landscape is the foundation step in a functioning democracy.
Now people understand that when you get into power, you can probably use it and abuse it. So there is a lot of businesses are now in the parliament. Maybe 2/3 of the MPs are members originally they represent businesses, and democracy may be subverted by vested interest, by money interest, by what we call oligarchs, where politicians and businesses are mingled together, and especially with apparently mining becoming such a huge thing for Mongolia. Current GDP of Mongolia is still very small, $5 billion US. Our population is 2.7 million. It's a pretty small economy, but there is a potential of GDP doubling, tripling just in a few years, because some of the world-class mines will start operating, And then, of course, there will be much more income into the budget and into the economy, into the business. So there is much more danger, politicians trying to use and abuse the system as well.
Now with this influx of so much, money, we have to be really careful, making sure that you have a legal system and that everyone follows it. Right now we might have good laws, but is anyone really actually going by the law?
We will need foreign investment, especially the Western investment, because we've got so much to learn from them. And it's again my personal opinion that we will have to sacrifice something in return, like a certain amount of mineral, gold, whatever. We don't eat gold, but we eat knowledge, I would say. We need education, knowledge.
And really, gradually, I think as more and more foreign investors come in, they're gonna make demands, for example, for the government to be more transparent. I think that's really gonna help change the business environment that we have. And once the business environment changes, I think a lot of things will change also.
It will set the middle class. It will create employment that pays good salaries. Infrastructure will improve education, universities, hospitals, you name it. That will create a middle class which this country desperately needs, which keeps everything honest.
Ulaan Baatar, the coldest capital in the world, is in need of repair. The World Bank study released in 2010 outlines methods for gradual improvement for transport and solid waste removal. Some issues it regards as impossible, such as a sewerage system for the gear districts, saying that credible solutions are yet to be developed.
If you look in the gear districts, everybody has a pit toilet, okay? Like how can that go on? It just can't go on. When your pit toilet is full, you dig another pit toilet. And so the whole entire gear district just being one disgusting pit toilet, okay? This is just one example of a change. It can't last. Like that cannot go on without causing major diseases, many major problems.
Some problems are presently too big to address, but others may be relatively simple. A one-off housing insulation grant of $190, for example, would reduce coal consumption by over 50%, halving pollution overnight. Hopefully the profit from the mining boom will see some of these improvements gradually help develop Ulaan Baatar and all Mongolia.
If the Mongolians now is the rich of the natural resources, and as we're going to use our natural resources in the next years, if we can generate a lot of the income from that money, now we have in feasibility studies, and research. Who knows, 10 or 5 or 10 years we can conduct all this, improve new transportation system.
And whatever revenues may be coming from mining, I think that we should be spending on education, educating the young people, and that's the main, guarantee that in the future Mongolia will also develop in the right direction.
So in 2011, Ulaan Baatar, indeed all of Mongolia, is poised. With all of these challenges and all of these opportunities, which direction should it face? And what focus does it need to have?
A lot of times we look at it and we wonder, which way is Mongolia going to go? And I feel that in like 5 or 10 years' time, it could make a huge change up or a huge change down. It definitely cannot stay the same as it's staying right now.
A city is not just buildings and streets. A city is its people. The greatest resource Ulaan Baatar has is not coal, but the descendants of the great Genghis Khan. In their hands lies its future.
I see this new generation, now it's 20 years since transition, to market economy and democracy. And the generation that was brought up during those 20 years now, they're completely different, They're much more open, they're much more cosmopolitan. Went to the studied in various countries in the world, and then a lot of them are coming back. And I see that that's a big force behind the Mongolia's progress now.
My background is in business administration, but I did my postgraduate study at the University of Dundee in Scotland. Wherever we go, we learn, we absorb the knowledge, and those people will make changes here in this country.
My name is Badrun Gardi, and I'm 23 years old now. Studied in high school for 3 years in Northern Virginia, and then went on to study at Stanford University. I majored in psychology and communications there. It's definitely necessary for the younger generation to step up and be more involved. And it doesn't always have to be through direct politics. You don't have to join a party and go through that. But all these people coming in, it's not just the people who are educated abroad. It has to be everyone. You have to realize what's happening in Mongolia, and that the situation might go pretty bad if you keep going in the same direction. And everyone has to step up and try to make a difference and try to change the system so that Mongolia does flourish and become a very developed country.
I don't want my country to become like Nigeria or Venezuela. Instead, I would like to see my country flourish like Chile or Botswana, Sweden. I want my country to manage the natural resource income in smart ways. Only then we will be able to flourish.
Huge change. I think the next 5 to 10 years is crucial for Mongolia's development. And if we're able to steer Mongolia in the right path, I think there are great things coming up for Mongolia, and it can really prosper and develop.